Hi everybody, welcome to your core mobility class. So this class is suited to anyone who knows you want to tone up your core, people with pain in their lower back. And really when we're working with the core, even though we target primarily the hips and the abdomen and the lumbar, for sure this can knock into other areas because pelvic stability, or let's look at it from a negative, pelvic instability can create pain symptoms up and down the chain, down into the knees and the ankles, up to the shoulders and the neck. And so it's really important when we're working the core that we are trying to focus on not just toning the belly, but trying to create what's called a weight-bearing pelvis. And this is where your pelvis is in neutral and your core is supporting that. So we're not just working with the belly, we're also working with the pelvic floor muscles and then the inner thigh connection into the pelvic floor, which there's a direct fascial connection there. We're also working with the external rotators and the glutes. So basically, even though the external rotators they're kind of like the weaker core muscles. They're really like synergists of the core, but they do affect pelvic positioning. So for example, someone with very tight external rotators usually has often tight hamstrings to go with, and the pelvis will be in a tuck and their legs will be externally rotated. So this is a very common posture. And so part of the reason that people over-focus on using the muscles underneath the glutes here to create stability is because the inner thighs are weak, or it's a postural holding pattern that kind of tenses or contracts these muscles, and then the inner thighs can become weak. So as we strengthen the inner thigh connection into the pelvic floor, then this creates an opportunity for those external rotator hip muscles to relax and to find a different tonicity or rest length, that they don't always have to be turned on so much. The tuck of this also can create a tuck of the pelvis, creating, and when the pelvis is tucked, for sure this can help tighten the abdominals, creating that six-pack look. But again, this can impact negatively on the spine. I've talked about this in other videos, for example, the one on the spine. So your rectus abdominis, it's great to have, toned rectus abdominis, but only in relation to a toned lower back. So you're always trying to get the balance between the rectus abdominis and the erector spinae, the lumbar erector spinae. You don't want to go into a flat back, and you don't want to go into an anterior tilt either. So it's all about getting the balance through your core to honor the waves of the spine. Okay. In this class, we'll also be doing some compression drills to focus on strengthening the hip flexors, the major hip flexor being the psoas, and the psoas connects into the deepest abdominal core stability muscle, which is your TBA or your transverse abdominis. The TBA and psoas muscles interconnect and interweave fascially. And so both will assist the diaphragm. Those three muscles work together in creating deep core stability through the pelvis and the lower portion of the trunk. Okay, so for this class, you'll need a couple of blocks and either a yoga strap or a resistance band. I'm working with here a long resistance band. Or a belt. A belt will make it easier. This is if you struggle with both poses. A belt will make it easier. This will make it a little bit harder. But both are good. And you may not need one at all. So it's just an option for you. So let us begin. So let us start down on the ground with both poses. So this, just so you know, this class is kind of for all. I will be going through level 1 variations or for people because, this is a therapeutic course. So it's a course focusing on how to adapt. Even for you, you might be able to go, I got both, no problem. But do you know the modifications for beginners if you're going to be showing this to beginners? So, okay, so from here, so you can take your hands to your knees and lengthen up. So again, most people here can be rounded back. And for sure, gripped in the rectus abdominis, but not getting the lift in the spine. And then sometimes people can be over flared here, so the front ribs splaying out. So you want to keep your front ribs knitting in, your navel pinned, and keep the length through the lower back, even with the feet on the ground. You don't want to be sitting too upright, so you want to load your psoas muscle by lying back, so you're making an upside down V here between your thighs and your trunk. From here, reach your arms forward, take the knees together, and maybe extend the legs straight. If you can't, you can work in tabletop or feet on the ground. Holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly calm down. Take the feet together, drop the knees to the side, and take a breath. Good. Now from here, we're going to look more at modifications. So come back to your start position, lie your trunk back away from your thigh, and we'll do one leg up and one leg down. One leg up and down. Good. So these are nice just to work with people who are struggling with like lower back pain. I wouldn't be able for the full boat. We won't do too many today, but just want to add it in here as an option. We'll do one more each side, up and down, and up and down, and good. So from here now you can take your belt or your band and kick up onto your heels, draw your toes towards the knees, and take your band or your belt underneath the ball of the sole of the foot. And from here, hold your band close to your foot and take your legs in the air. And as you start to straighten your knees, you may have to, well, with the band it's stretchy, but if on a belt, you may just have to, as you straighten your legs, just slide your hands back towards your shoulders on your belt. Good. So you have a little bit of support here. Shoulder blades down the back, pulling into the ribs, hug the inner thighs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly calm down. You can cross your legs and take a couple of breaths. Good. So you can take your belt aside if you were using one. And from here, we're going to work with half boat curls. So when we're working with boat, we're strengthening the psoas and the lower back. When we're working with half boat, we're working with spinal flexion. So we're strengthening the the rectus abdominis. Now, a lot of people, I see a lot of people attempting to do half boat with a flat back. Yeah. Usually these people are anterior tilted. Some people are doing this because they're concerned about the spine, like disc is in the spine. Maybe their Pilates teacher or whatever told them not to round their spine, or their yoga teacher, or their, some other therapist. And can spinal flexion in the lumbar aggravate disc issues? Well, for sure, because it's sitting on the computer and chairs, etc. a lot. Yes, it can. What I would suggest, however, if you don't flex the spine, you're going to lose the strength of your rectus. So I would suggest to you, and you can play with this yourself, and you can just decide yourself if you do have a lumbar issue. But what I would suggest for you or for your students is that you ask their pain to be their guide. Yeah. So, for example, with people with lumbar pain, we are told the protocol is maintain extension of the spine. But it depends if there's a bulge on the disc or whatever, it really depends where the bulge is. It can be, usually the bulge would be posterior lateral, but sometimes it's anterior lateral. And I have had students where when they extend the spine, they get the nerve pain, and when they round the spine a little, they come out of pain. So my answer is, we'll round the spine a little bit. So you always avoid nerve pain. Yeah, you never push into nerve pain. And listen to the body is the most important thing. So, but ideally, yes, the straight spine is great if you're sitting a lot, but you also need to round the spine, yeah? You need to, especially if you're into your tilted, you need to develop your flexion through the lumbar, and that's what we're going to work on here. So take your feet hip width, and take your hands behind your knees. Inhale, lengthen the lower back, and exhale, tuck your pelvis under, pin your navel, and curl. And you can do this like this with your chest up, but I want you to close your chest, knit your ribs, and hollow your front body. And then inhale, roll up, exhale, and curl. Inhale, roll up, exhale, and curl. Inhale, roll up, exhale, and curl. Inhale, roll up. And this time you can grab a brick. So we're just going to do the same again with the brick in between our thighs. Squeezing in to activate the inner thighs into the pelvic floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale. Now I've taken my hands off my legs, but you can do this with your hands on your legs. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. 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 Exhale, curl. 3 more. Lengthen. Exhale. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Last one. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Good. And you can take your feet together, cross-legged or cobblers, and just take a few breaths. Okay, so from here, we're just going to do another variation of half boat. We'll do the full variation where the legs are off the ground. Now, if it's too much for you, please just go back and repeat what we've been doing with your hands on your legs, on your feet on the ground, or your feet on the ground and your hands in the air. Use a brick or not. So it's up to you. So if you want to progress, you can do the full pose with me. And we'll do it from our boat pose. So setting yourself up for boat. Lift your legs up. And now draw your arm bones away from your shoulders. So reach your fingers forward. Start to knit your ribs round through your upper body. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Pin the navel. Knit the ribs. And start to lower back. If it feels good on the lower back, no nerve pain, start to round through your lower back as you lower your feet and your head for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale back up to boat. And then take the feet down. Good. And take another couple of breaths. So we can do this boat, half boat in reps as well. In calisthenics, they're called V-ups. And again, it's another progression. So again, option to just work with your feet on the ground, or if you want, we'll do this as our last boat, half boat progression today. So you can take your legs up and exhale, roll back. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, up. We'll do 10. That was 2. Exhale, down. Inhale, 3. Exhale, down. Inhale, 4. Exhale. Inhale, 5. Exhale. Inhale, 6. Exhale. Inhale, 7. exhale, inhale, 8, exhale, inhale, 9, exhale, inhale, 10, exhale, and then lie on your back. Good, and you can take a few breaths. Now I lied, I said we were going to do that as the last one, but there's one more I'd like to do. And actually this is more, it's not really a progression, it's a little bit easier, but just one I'd like to include. And I use it in my classes a lot, and it's plow or hovering plow to boat. Yeah, it's great because it just not only works your abdominals, but it also wakes up your spinal stabilizers and and your back. Okay, so from here you can inhale, roll up to your plow or hovering plow. So if your feet don't touch the ground, don't worry. Be mindful of your neck as you roll up. Good. And then from here, roll up and come to a balance. So you can come to tabletop, you can come to straight leg, you can support yourself. So you could also hold your legs in your plow. So you can work with your hands by your hips or hold your legs and roll up like so. So that's it. Straight leg or tabletop. And we'll do 8. Exhale back and inhale up. And main thing is when you come up, you try and move to a tip and your feet don't touch the ground. Exhale back, inhale up. And for advanced, you could hold your big toes if you have the hamstring length. Exhale back, inhale up. Exhale back, inhale up. Exhale, inhale, oops. Good. Exhale, inhale. 3 more. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. So holding here, holding the legs, or if you can, let go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet together and come to a seat and take a few breaths. So for the next exercise, I didn't mention, I forgot, the prop is your roller. So you can go grab a roller now, or you could use a bolster or a rolled up yoga mat. We're not going to use the roller to roll, but just we want the height. A bolster would actually be a bit thick. Definitely this works quite well. So we're just going to do some sit-ups using the roller. So if you take your hands behind the back of your head, and to start by taking your scapula, your roller just to the base of your scapula, and then exhale back. Just point your, you don't have to go into a back bend, but just take your elbows in line with the sky, and then inhale, and exhale, pull into your core, hollow body, knitting your ribs, and curl your knees in, your elbows in towards your knees. Inhale back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, Good. So from here, take your hands forward and you can do little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, you can support your head. So now you have the option of doing it again, or if you want to progress your curl, you're going to roll your roller down towards the base of your ribs. So just kind of at the base of your ribs, or slightly, maybe an inch higher, just so you're not pressing onto your floating ribs. And now when you come up, it's going to load more weight onto your upper rectus and upper abdominal. So again, interlock your hands behind the head and exhale back. Inhale back. Exhale, curl. Inhale back. Exhale, curl. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. This is so good for people with anterior tilt. Exhale and ribcage flare. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Reach your arms forward and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Now because we've done a lot of tucking, and too much tucking is not good for the lower back, let's do a little bit of tuck and tilt on the roller lengthways as we have them out. So take your sacrum to the end of your roller, lie back so your head is also here. And of course when we're working with the core, we're also working with multifidi. So we did this in your myofascial release. Let's just do side to side shear. We're kind of combining here. And guys, just for this course, I've separated the mobility from the myofascial release, but you can be creative and design your own classes where the two are merged, like what I'm doing here. So 1 minute you're doing a mobility exercise, next thing you're pulling your roller out, doing release, and then you can go back and do more. I'll see if I can design some classes like that and add them to the platform over the next few months. Could be pretty cool. Okay, so from here, let's go into a tuck and tilt. So inhale, you can lift your spine, and exhale, gently tuck. Now we're not so into the tuck now because we've done a lot of tucking. It's more getting the lift. So inhale, good, and really starting to activate your lower back extensors here, and exhale. So keep your feet light on the ground, so you're moving from your core and your lower back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And then from here, you can come off to the side and make your way to a seat. Okay, so I'm a dibble today because there's another prop I didn't mention, so sorry. Anyhow, it's your soft ball, your soft Pilates ball, and here's one I prepared earlier. Okay, no I didn't, I edited the video, but anyway. So here is the soft Pilates ball. It is blown up to 80%, so this is the ball that we use, and you mightn't have done the myofascial release, but we use this for myofascial release on the belly, working with the different points on the belly to release the different tension through the neurocore. Amazing deep release if you haven't done it yet. But we not only use it for neurocore release, we also use it for core. So let's just do a little bit of, we'll do those sit-ups here again. Now this is really great for anyone with lower disc pain or instability through the lower back, SIJ kind of thing, as you develop your core. It just gives you a prop. It's one of those nice ones that it makes it easier. So here I'm using it to keep the lift into my spine. I can kind of lie my lumbar back, and then I can drop back and come up. Good. So I'm not going into deep flexion. This ball is helping me maintain the length of my spine. So you can move with me as I talk. So it's great. And I can curl in and push back into it more. But if you keep your hands in line with the shoulders, and as you curl up, don't bring your hands down to the ground, that will mean you'll keep the length through the spine. And you can use this if you are someone with lower back pain who feels that flexion, it could be aggravating, or if you have a disc issue in the lower back and you feel that flexion could be aggravating, but you do need to develop your core, but just without aggravating your lumbar disc, then this is quite a nice option for you. Good. Good, we'll do 5 more. 5, 4, plus it's quite deep, even if you have no back pain. 3, 2, 1. Good. And then come to a seat and take a few breaths. Good. So now we're going to start to work the obliques on the side waist. We have the external obliques originating higher up at the side ribs, crisscrossing down through the abdominal fascia connecting to the opposite hip. And we also have the internal obliques from the side, coming more from the side waist and coming through the abdominal fascia connecting down towards the pubis and up. As well, coming in from that side waist. So we want to, and we have our TBA on the side waist as well. So it's not just running from the pubis up to the base of your sternum, but it's covering your TBA, your deep stability muscle, covers the whole belly, wraps around like a corset from your side waist. So really important to get those side waist muscles strong. Anyone suffering from any kind of lateral tilt or something may have an oblique imbalance as well. So notice if you do, while you're doing this work, do you have a weaker side? And it's important to try and strengthen the other side. But again, it's not all to do with strengthening. Usually, you know, if there's an oblique imbalance, you're probably going to do better work relative to the myofascial release. Yeah. And strengthening has its part, but myofascial release would probably be more important. Okay, so just lying back, so you can really lie back now, even beyond your V. So your trunk is quite far away from your thighs, and just take your hands from side to side. So you're creating a gentle twist. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you can sit upright and take a breath. Now, we can load this if we want. I'm just going to load it with a brick today. And again, you know, especially if there's any symptom here, you start to load more and more gradually. So taking your brick and then starting to rotate. Keep lying back. Don't sit up too tall, it makes it too easy. So to get into that core activation, starting to lie back more, as keeping your front ribs knitted in, but giving your weight to the ball. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then coming up, take a few breaths. Wow, I mean, it's fab. Even though you have your ball there, you know, I can really feel myself strengthening here. And I love working directly on the abdominal core. A lot of the core that I do in yoga, like we do our crows and our planks and our chaturangas and stuff, for sure we're using our core, but we're loading our arms and shoulders at the same time. And for me, I love to do arm core work, but I also love to isolate the core away from the arms, because I use my arms a lot, you know, and there's times where, I feel like sometimes when I'm doing my tiger curls and my crows, that actually I'm using my arms and shoulders more than my core. So here it's great just to go in there and isolate those muscles. Okay, so now we can wait. So we can tip back, and this time you can take the legs up and side to side with just the hands. So just in tabletop or straight. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly calm down. Take a couple of breaths. Nice. And now we'll do feet off with the brick. Of course, if it's just too much, just put your feet back down. So option to take your legs to tabletop or straight and from side to side. Good, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then calming down. Great, stack your shoulders over your hips, take a couple of breaths. Now, I used a brick today. You could use your chickpeas or your bottle of wine. This is the prevailing joke. We always use chickpeas and wine. But anyhow, yeah, you could obviously, take your 1 kg or weights out for that and start to build up if you want to load it more. Now here we're going to do some side boat curls. So we can use the brick for this, or the ball for this, or not. So you have the option. So from here you're going to tip over onto your right sit bone. And then reach your arms forward. Sorry for taking my hands out. Reach your arms forward on either side of your left knee. And then just come up to at a diagonal. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to admit, the ball makes this one a lot easier. I'm kind of bouncing up. Not using too much core. But anyway, both hands to the right of your right knee, lying back and diagonal up. Tipping over onto your left sit bone, tip the knees off to the left. 6, 5, try not to bounce over your ball too much. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly come back to center. Guys, I think we have to try it with no ball. If it was hard for you with the ball, stay with the ball. Otherwise, let's take the ball away. Good. And again, you can take your feet together. Tip your knees off to the right. Reach your hand over to the left of your left knee. You could also, if you wish, take a brick in between your thighs and squeeze in. And then exhale, lying down. And inhale, lifting up. Exhale down, inhale up. So as you lie down, flexing the lower back or curling, and then inhale, lengthen up. Exhale down, inhale up. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, tip the knees over to the left, hands to the right. Squeeze your brick, exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale. Good. Come up. Take a couple of breaths. Good. So from here, we'll continue to work on the obliques with a dolphin side plank. So you can prop up onto your left elbow with me. And you can work with lifting your hips up. You can work with your right hand foot on top of your left, or you can stagger and take your right foot forward. So if you wish to hold, I'm going to do dips. So exhale the hip down, and or inhale down, exhale, squeeze the left waist up. So you can move here from the hip or from the waist, and we want to work from the side waist to connect into the TVA and obliques. 10 more. Exhale, exhale up. Inhale, exhale 9. Inhale, exhale 8. Inhale, exhale 7. Inhale, exhale 6. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 1. Come down, take Sphinx, and take a couple of breaths. And so we did 15 there. And then moving to the other side. Right elbow, right foot down. Stagger your feet or come to a stack. Holding isometrically, or if you wish, you can dip with me. Inhale, exhale up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. 5, 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come down. Lie back to your belly and take your Sphinx pose. Okay, so from here we're going to start to work with the inner thighs. So we're going to stay lying down, and you can roll over onto your right hip. And then you can step your left foot forward, like so, and grab hold of it, if that feels comfortable for you. If you wish, you could take a brick underneath your right temple. And we're going to do leg lifts. So, inhale the right leg up, exhale slowly down. Inhale, lift, exhale, 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 down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and then inhale, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly come down. Good. So from here, lying on your left hip, Taking your left temple to the brick. If you're using a brick, step your right foot forward. And then inhale the left leg up. Exhale it down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 8 more. Up and down. And up. And 2. And up. And 3. And up. And 4. And up. And 5. And up. 6. And up. 7. And up. 8. And lift for 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And slowly release, lie on your back. You can take your brick to the side. We're going to use it in a moment for our last pose today. But for now, just take a breath while I talk. So we're just going to bridge up using the brick between our inner thighs to activate our adductors into our pelvic floor. And here we're also going to be lifting the hips, strengthening the glute max. Now the glute max isn't really a core muscle, but as it does contribute to hip and pelvic balance, so for sure it's important. Okay, so from here, take your brick to the inside of your inner thighs and squeeze, taking your heels underneath your knees. And from here, keep your base ribs on the ground.
Derek said he's just actually shocked by the lack of
Alex, close the door! And from here, keep your base ribs on the ground and just lift the lower back off the ground if you have flattened it on the ground. So you're just coming back into the natural waves of the spine. As you lift your lower back, still pin your navel so you're connecting into your lumbar abdominal core. Your hands can be down by the heels, press into your feet and lift your hips up. Now we're not doing a yoga bridge here where we'd be trying to roll onto the top of the shoulders and open the ribs. We're working with our front ribs knitting into our core. So we're more extended through our spine as opposed to hyperextended. We're not arching. And so we are pulling into our abs more here. Squeeze your brick, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just start to drop your bum down and then inhale it up. Dropping it down, inhale it up. So this is like a tuck tilt. As you drop down, your pelvis is going to tip forward. And as you lift up, your pelvis is going to tuck a little bit more. You don't want to over tuck as well. You don't have to over squeeze the abs and go into a hollow body and flatten the lower back, especially if there is a disc issue. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. slowly calm down and just take a couple of breaths. Take your brick to the side, walk your feet out, drop your knees into the midline. If you wish, you can slide your legs down straight. We've worked quite strong today. And just soften into your body. And if you feel ready, you can glide your heels in. Make your way up to a seat. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed your class and you feel more connected with your core to support your daily movements and the curves of your spine.